Hi everybody, Academic Writing in 3 minutes, and this time we're looking at essay conclusions. Maybe no surprise as after essay introductions. Now, as with introductions, conclusions can be written differently depending on your assignment or your subject, so keep that in mind as always. But generally you would expect them to remind the reader of what you aim to do, the main arguments that you looked at and focused on. You may also acknowledge limitations. That's optional, I think. It's not totally important. Identify any areas for future research, where the topic could be explored in more detail. And you might also offer recommendations, if that's the type of essay that you've been asked to write about. Now, I know it's difficult with conclusions because much does depend on the actual question that you've been given. So the conclusion often summarises the main points, but it shouldn't just repeat them. That's important. You need to find the main things that stand out and tell the reader or show the reader what these main things are and what they mean for your topic. That's the thing. Keep it relevant, or keep the ideas relevant, and also make your points. I would try not to say that, what you found, everything's equal. It's not really that. If anything stands out, tell the reader this. In other words, don't just repeat, saying, I did this, this and this. Actually show the reader what you explored and what stood out and why, and then relate these areas to your subject, to your field, okay? Also, remember how with introductions they start off general and go to specific in the background information. Well, because a conclusion is written, always found immediately after your main body, the conclusion really starts specific. It starts off specific and it finishes more general. So it starts off talking about the focus, which you've already just written about in your main body, bringing the main points together. And then you'll go more general, commenting on the topic, where you kind of try and relate your points to what the essay has shown or what it may mean for your subject. So it goes beyond the parameters of the question and it gets wider, okay? So conclusions can be difficult to write. This is the thing. And often they're seen as a bit of a kind of, I've written the main body and the main body is where the main marks are, so they're not so important. Wrong, they are important because they are the last thing that the reader will actually read. So finish strongly, finish clearly. That's the thing. So summarise. Look at the points that stand out. What do they mean for your, what does it mean for the topic? And also what might it mean for your subject? Widen the scope, okay? So the reader can see, he or she has gone beyond the actual essay and considered it, in a more relevant way. And I think that will have a stronger effect on the reader. But they can be tricky, so take your time and make sure you leave time to write them. Okay, everybody? Thanks for listening as always.